Breathe deeply now. Let your body settle into comfort. Feel the gentle weight of relaxation begin. Imagine a place untouched by hurry, a forest ancient and kind, the whispering forest, beneath a sky so vast and deep, it holds more stars than grains of sand on a quiet shore. Feel the cool, clean night air, carrying the rich, dark scent of fertile earth, the sharp, clean perfume of countless pine needles, and the delicate, sleepy fragrance of night-blooming flowers hidden in the shadows. Listen to the patient sigh of the wind, moving through the high branches, a soft, constant whisper like breath. Hear the distant, low call of an owl, a comforting sound, a watchful note in the stillness, and beneath it all, the gentle, watery whisper of a hidden stream flowing endlessly, smoothing ancient stones with its patient touch. In a den so cozy it feels like a warm sigh, nestled deep between the enormous, gnarled roots of an ancient oak tree, lined with layers of the softest moss, velvety green and cool to the touch, and dried ferns that rustle like the quietest pages turning, sleeps a small fox. Her fur is a warm red, like autumn leaves kissed by the last light of day, now silvered by the moon. This is Fern. She stirs, her dark eyes blinking open, reflecting the soft light spilling into her sanctuary. Fern loves the deep quiet, the gentle magic that descends when the sun sleeps. Tonight, a particularly soft, silvery light, warmer than distant starlight, cooler than the approaching dawn, fills her small home. An invitation. She rises, stretching slowly, each muscle unfolding with care. Pads silently, so silently, out into the embrace of the night forest. The world is transformed, bathed in luminous moonlight, painting everything in shades of soft, deep gray, velvety black shadows, and shimmering liquid silver. Ancient trees, oak, ash, and towering pine stand like wise, patient guardians, their bark deeply etched, telling stories older than memory. A thick carpet of moss, cool, soft, and slightly damp, cushions Fern's every step. The air tastes pure, cool, like the clearest mountain spring. And then she sees it. A path, glowing with a soft, internal light, seeming woven from moonlight itself, laid gently upon the forest floor. It winds away, inviting, not demanding, a silent, patient suggestion. Fern's heart, already calm, fills with a quiet wonder. She takes a slow step forward, her paw sinking into the cool moss beside the luminous trail, then another step, placing it directly upon the soft light. She feels nothing but the forest floor beneath, yet the light seems to welcome her. She begins to follow, moving at a pace that matches the sighing wind. Chapter 1: The Heartwood Clearing and the Singing Willow. The moonlit path winds, unhurried, taking Fern deeper into the very heart of the whispering forest. The sighing wind grows softer here, wrapping around the massive trunks, and a new sound, deep, resonant, begins to permeate the air. It's not a sound heard only with ears, but felt, a gentle vibration, humming in the cool night air, trembling in the earth beneath Fern's sensitive paws. It feels like the deepest note of a cello, played by the night itself, a foundation of peace. The path curves, opens, spills into a wide, open clearing, flooded with pure, radiant moonlight. At its center, rooted deep in the heart of the forest, stands an immense willow tree. Its trunk, thick and wise, seems to hold the moonlight within its grooves. Countless long, graceful branches, heavy with narrow leaves the color of liquid silver, cascade down, sweeping the moonlit grass, creating a living curtain, a sanctuary of soft light and shadow. And this tree, this ancient willow, is the source of the deep vibration. It is singing. Its voice is not made of words, but of pure, soothing resonance, a profound, comforting hum that flows outwards, washing over Fern, warming her from the tip of her nose, along her spine, to the very end of her bushy tail. It feels like coming home after a long journey, like being wrapped in the softest, warmest blanket, like absolute, unquestioned safety. One of the great branches, laden with shimmering silver leaves, dips lower, lower still, until the very tips brush gently, softly against Fern's back. Softly now, little wanderer, the deep hum seemed to form meaning within her. Here is rest. Lay down your watchfulness. Breathe, simply breathe the peaceful air. Fern needed no further invitation. She sank down, her body relaxing completely, leaning her side gently against the immense, comforting trunk. She could feel the deep song vibrating through the ancient wood, a lullaby woven into the forest's heart, a song for the trees, the stars, and for her. She closed her eyes, just resting, breathing slowly, in and out, letting the profound peace of the willow's song fill every part of her. Time stretched, soft and elastic, in the moon-drenched clearing. Chapter 2. The Stillness of the Mirror Pond. Refreshed, deeply calm, Fern rose. The willow's song faded to a gentle background thrum within her, a warm memory held close. The glowing path beckoned once more, leading her away from the clearing, deeper still, into parts of the forest where the air grew even quieter, more still. The scent changed, the damp earth and pine giving way to a clean, clear, watery freshness. The path descended slightly, winding between tall ferns that glistened with dew, until it opened, revealing the edge of a pond, perfectly, utterly calm. It was a mirror, flawless, undisturbed, reflecting the entire vast expanse of the starry sky above and the great benevolent moon, so perfectly the reflection seemed deeper, richer than the sky itself. It was impossible to tell where the heavens ended and this dark, still water began. Fern crept forward, silent as moonlight, to the very lip of the water. She peered down into the profound stillness. As she gazed, the reflected stars shimmered, not with movement, but with a deepening. The water's surface softened like mist dissolving before the sun, and within the reflected depths, images formed, not sharp, but warm, gentle, like beloved memories surfacing in a dream. She saw herself, impossibly small, a tiny ball of russet fur, curled tightly, safely, deeply within her moss-lined den, nestled against the immense warmth, the softness of her mother's side. The comforting scent of moss, safety, and deep love filled her senses, just as it had then. She heard, or perhaps felt, the slow, steady, reassuring rhythm of her mother's breathing, a natural lullaby. The pure, uncomplicated peace of that moment, so long ago, washed over Fern again, warm, sweet, and deeply comforting. She dipped her nose, just the very tip, touching the cool silken surface of the water. A single ripple, a perfect circle, spread outwards, gently distorting the stars, and as the water stilled once more, only profound peace, deep and dark as the pond itself, remained reflected. Fern sat back, carrying that warmth, that memory of absolute safety within her heart as she turned back to the glowing path. Chapter 3: The Guardian of the Starlit Pines. Leaving the pond's quiet enchantment, the glowing path began to slope gently upwards, leading Fern into a stand of towering pine trees. Their scent, sharp, resinous, wonderfully clean, filled the cool air, strong and invigorating. Fern moved slowly, deliberately, enjoying the springy softness of the thick layer of fallen pine needles beneath her paws. The moonlight filtered down through the high branches, creating patterns of light and shadow on the forest floor. The world felt taller here, closer to the stars. The path curved around a particularly massive pine, its trunk wider than Fern was long, and as she passed, the trees ahead seemed to part, revealing a small open space bathed in a pool of pure moonlight. Upon a large, smooth rock, thickly padded with emerald green moss, sat a figure, immense, yet radiating a stillness so profound it seemed to deepen the quiet of the night itself. It was a great bear. His size was awe-inspiring, yet there was no tension, no threat, only an ancient, deep calm. His fur, thick and dark, seemed less like mere hair and more like the night sky given form. Within its depths, countless tiny points of light glimmered, soft, steady, like distant stars, mapping constellations Fern could almost, but not quite recognize across his broad shoulders and powerful back. His eyes, when he slowly turned his massive head, were deep, dark pools, holding the quiet wisdom of countless seasons, countless silent nights. He looked at Fern, not with surprise, but with a gentle, knowing recognition, as if he had been waiting, patiently, for her moonlit journey to bring her here. Little sister. His voice was the softest rumble, felt more in the chest than heard with the ear, like the gentlest, most distant thunder, comforting, grounding. You walk the moon's own path. He paused, his dark, star-filled eyes holding hers. The night holds you in its vast, quiet hand. Walk softly, little sister. Rest deeply when the path ends. Fern felt no flicker of fear, only a swelling sense of awe, and beneath it, a profound, anchoring feeling of being protected, watched over by something ancient and kind. She dipped her head, a gesture of deep respect. The great bear, the guardian of the starlit pines, inclined his massive head in a slow, deliberate nod, a silent blessing bestowed. Then he turned his gaze back upwards, towards the slice of star-filled sky visible through the pines, becoming once more a peaceful mountain of fur and starlight. Fern padded softly, reverently, past the mossy rock, the scent of pine resin, rich earth, and the cool vastness of space itself, surrounding her as she followed the path onwards and upwards. Chapter 4: The Glade of Gentle Light and Letting Go. The moonlit path, responding perhaps to the bear's blessing, began to glow with a warmer, brighter intensity. It led Fern away from the tall pines, down a gentle slope, and into a small, perfectly hidden dell, sheltered by banks of flowering shrubs. As she stepped into the dell, the air itself changed. It shimmered, not with heat, but with thousands upon thousands of tiny, soft lights. They weren't fireflies. Their light was steadier, softer, more like the gentlest stars fallen to earth. They drifted, floated, moved with languid grace, illuminating the space with a dreamlike, ethereal glow. This light revealed flowers unlike any Fern had ever seen. Their petals seemed formed of light itself, glowing with soft, luminous hues, calming blues like twilight, gentle lavenders like dusk, warm silvers like the moon's own reflection. They swayed ever so slightly, as if dancing to a silent melody only they could hear. As Fern stepped carefully among them, a remarkable feeling washed over her. A lightness, as if she were shedding unseen weights. The small niggling worries of the day, the tiny scratch from a bramble, the fleeting pang of hunger long since satisfied, the momentary fright caused by a falling acorn hours ago, they all seemed to loosen their grip, like small, smooth pebbles slipping from her fur, landing soundlessly on the glowing ground. A soft, collective whisper, like the rustle of countless luminous petals, seemed to drift on the shimmering air. Here, little fox, this is the place. Leave them here. Let your small burdens rest among the gentle light. Fern paused, closing her eyes. She took a slow, deep breath, drawing in the sweet, light-filled air. She felt lighter, calmer, emptier, as if her heart and mind had been gently swept clean, ready to hold only peace, only the present moment. She leaned down, nuzzling a flower that glowed with a soft blue light. Its touch against her nose was warm, comforting, and with that touch, she felt one final, lingering wisp of concern, a tiny knot of thought, simply dissolve, lifting away like the lightest dandelion seed, carried upwards on her soft exhale. She lingered, moving slowly among the glowing blooms, bathed in their peaceful light, feeling truly, deeply unburdened. Chapter 5: The Silent Procession of Lantern Light. Emerging from the glade of gentle light, Fern felt lighter than thistledown, as if she could float upon the night air. The glowing path continued, now winding its way through a grove of tall, slender birch trees. Their smooth white bark shone like captured moonlight, stark and beautiful against the deep velvet shadows. Ahead, through the elegant trunks, Fern saw movement. Soft, golden lights, not floating freely like the dell lights, but held, bobbing gently, moving in a slow, silent procession. Drawn by their warmth, Fern moved closer, her steps silent on the soft forest floor. As the distance closed, she saw them clearly. Lanterns, small, perfect spheres of warm, golden light, held aloft on slender, dark branches. Held not by branches, but by other foxes. Their fur, russet and silver like her own, gleamed softly in the lantern light. Their eyes, reflecting the warm glow, held the same deep, tranquil peace that Fern now carried within her. They moved, not marching, but flowing, with a silent, effortless grace, their paws making no sound upon the path. They did not speak. Their presence was their communication, a fellowship of the quiet night. As Fern naturally fell into step beside the procession, near the rear, one fox near her turned its elegant head. Its eyes met Fern's, and it offered a slow, deliberate blink, a blink that held a world of meaning, a silent welcome, a recognition, an invitation. Walk with us, sister of the path. The warm, golden light from their lanterns cast soft, dancing patterns upon the pale birch trunks, transforming the grove into a corridor of living light and shadow, guiding the way forward, step by unhurried step. Fern felt surrounded, embraced, by a silent companionship, a shared warmth, and the gentle, unspoken guidance of those who knew the way. Her steps felt effortless, part of a larger, peaceful flow through the moonlit woods. They walked together in comfortable silence, the only sounds the soft sigh of the wind high above and the gentle rustle of leaves. Chapter 6: The Hilltop Under the Infinite Sky. The lantern foxes, their silent fellowship a deep comfort, guided Fern steadily upwards. The birch grove began to thin, the elegant trunks spaced further apart. The warm, intimate glow of the lanterns, so comforting in the close woods, began to soften, to blend seamlessly with the cooler, broader silver light of the moon. As they reached the crest of a long, gentle slope, the lantern foxes paused. They stood, a silent semicircle, facing Fern. Each, in turn, offered her the same slow, meaningful blink, a silent farewell filled with goodwill. Then, as one, they turned and moved back into the embrace of the birch trees, their golden lights winking out one by one, like friendly stars returning to the sky, leaving Fern standing alone, bathed solely in the pure, cool, magnificent radiance of the moon and the countless stars above. Before her, the ground leveled into a wide open hilltop, the highest point in all the whispering forest. Here, the world fell away. There were no trees, only soft, thick grass, cool and dewy underfoot. Here, the sky was not just above, it was everywhere, an endless expanse of deepest midnight velvet, upon which a million glittering diamonds had been scattered, each one a star, burning with a gentle, steady light. The moon, full, round, and benevolent, hung like a great silver lantern, casting its soft, loving light over the entire slumbering world below. Fern could see the dark, rolling canopy of the whispering forest, like a rumpled blanket of deepest green, stretching away, mile upon mile, to the distant horizon where sky met land. The air up here was incredibly crisp, incredibly clear, carrying the faintest scent of distant hills and pure space. And it was utterly, profoundly still, filled only with the immense, peaceful, awe-inspiring silence of the infinite night sky. A deep, sweet heaviness, warm, welcome, and utterly familiar, settled over Fern. It wasn't weariness, but the comforting weight of perfect peace, like the softest, warmest blanket imaginable, being gently laid upon her. She walked, slowly, across the springy grass, towards the very center of the wide hilltop. The coolness of the earth seeped pleasantly into her paws. The stars watched, silent, kind. She turned 3 slow, deliberate circles, nose carefully touching tail, finding the perfect spot, the softest cushion of grass. She lowered herself, folding her legs beneath her, feeling the cool earth beneath her belly. She curled her body into a tight, comfortable ball, her soft red fur fluffing out slightly against the night's cool caress. Finally, she brought her bushy tail around, draping it lovingly over her nose and paws. Its familiar scent, its familiar warmth, a final comfort. She tilted her head back, gazing up and up and up into the breathtaking expanse of the cosmos. Each tiny point of light, each star seemed to pulse, slowly, gently, rhythmically, like the slowest, most peaceful heartbeat of the universe itself. The moonlight bathed her, a soft, silver embrace, feeling like a gentle touch. The immense peace of the hilltop, the silent, watchful presence of the stars, the cool, clean air filling her lungs, the deep sense of safety radiating from the ancient forest below. It all flowed into her, filled her completely. Her eyelids, heavy, so wonderfully heavy, began to drift closed of their own accord. The soft, distant sigh of the wind far below in the forest, the gentle, watery whisper of the hidden stream, the deep, resonant memory of the willow's comforting hum, the warmth of the lantern light, the feeling of weightlessness from the glowing glade, the grounding presence of the starlit bear. All these sensations, These memories, blended, merged, wove together into the most perfect, the most gentle lullaby imaginable. Fern's breathing deepened, slowed, became soft, regular. Her muscles, every single one, softened, released, letting go of the last tiny hint of tension. She felt safe, deeply, profoundly safe, watched over, cherished by the moon, the stars, the ancient forest, the quiet creatures of the night, and the vast, loving, peaceful night itself. Her eyes closed fully, her head nestled perfectly into the soft curve of her tail. The starlight, the moonlight seemed to hold her, cradle her, as Fern, the little red fox who loved the night, drifted peacefully, soundly, effortlessly into the deepest, most restful, most perfect sleep under the watchful, loving, infinite night sky. Rest now, little fox. Rest deep and peaceful. Rest.